Hey everyone, my name is David Dunbar, or the Theme Park Evangelist, and I am here to talk about the Fate of the Furious movie review. And I'm going to tell you guys, of course, my personal thoughts on it, how I would rate the movie, how family friendly it is, yada yada yada. You get the whole 9 yards. I've been doing this movie review stuff for quite a while now. So anyway, first of all, I want to start with telling you guys that this will be a spoiler-free movie review. Sigh of relief right there, right? I already thought of in my head like yesterday. That's right, Saturday, April the 15th, how I was gonna address this because the movie was very mind-blowing in a lot of ways, and I wasn't sure how I was gonna talk about this. Thinking, man, how am I going to talk about a movie right after Paul Walker died? That's your only spoiler. If you haven't seen any of the Fast and the Furious movies, you don't know who Paul Walker is, shame on you. Go back, start at number 1 at 2001, work your way up to 2017, and then we'll talk. And if you don't also know who Paul Walker is, you should probably look him up because I can't really say much other than he was like one of the main actors in the Fast and the Furious movies. And the ironic part is he died in a car accident on Thanksgiving Day a few years ago, and he's supposedly a stunt driver, but what do we know? Anyway, so that was the first thing that bothered me. I was like, how am I going to talk about a movie right after Paul Walker died? Like, how is Universal going to address this? Like, what are they going to do? And it was just like bewildering me because I'm a huge Fast and the Furious fan. Like, how is Universal going to keep the series going? Are they going to keep the series going? That was the first thing I asked myself. And to my surprise, yes, they did. Did they change the name slightly, but not too much? This was supposed to be Fast 8, but they went with something else. And then I'm thinking, okay, if they're going to keep the series going, what are they going to do about it? And I figured out a way to talk about the movie without giving away too much, because of the fact that this was also pretty highly anticipated. It's like, what is Universal going to do now that Paul Walker is dead? Like, okay, yeah, he died like 3/4 of the way through the last one, the Furious 7. It's like, what are they going to do now? And the other next thing I want to talk to you guys about is the family friendliness and how I personally would rate the movie. And then I'm going to go right into it. I'm going to dive right in. So if you guys want to take a 5-minute break, go get a Coke or something, go get something to eat, go do that. Come back in 5 minutes. I can guarantee you that I'll be talking about that. Alright, so for those of you who decide to stay around and talk to and listen to me, on a family friendliness level, I would have to give it a 1 or a 2. This movie had a lot more language and violence than the last movie. The last one, the Fury 7, wasn't so bad because of the fact that the worst thing I personally saw was the part where they were in Saudi Arabia, somewhere around there, and they were in that prince's home, and like, who knows what those princes can do out there. And then, of course, seeing Woman on the Beach. The movie didn't have a whole lot of language in it. It was violent, but it didn't have a whole lot of language in it. This movie had a lot more language in it. I know it's like constant, like, whoa. I mean, it's still not as bad as Logan, which definitely was like way more constant. I definitely would not recommend that at all for kids. That's why I would like give that a 0 for a family friendly. I don't even remember how I rated it, to be honest, but I wouldn't recommend this one movie for kids either. That's why it's PG-13 for a reason. And Logan was, of course, rated R. On an overall scale rating, how would I rate this? I think that Furious 7 drove it better. Like, I've seen that 7 times because of the fact that Paul Walker was in it. I love the way they ended it. It was beautiful. I would give this movie a 7, and I would give Furious 7 a 9, maybe a 9.5. That was by far of the series, like of all the different movies that they've made, the past 7 movies that they've made over the years. That was by far my absolute favorite, and I have seen the first one, and I also saw Fast Five too. I didn't like Fast Five as much. Like, I don't even remember if they made a Fast Six or anything like that. I think they skipped over 6 and went to 7. I don't remember. I have to go back and look. 7 pretty much led to what happens in 8. It's kind of a continual, and then of course we got to continue what happens in 8 and 9. The only thing I will say that you should expect in the next Fast and the Furious movie, which is confirmed, and that is the team still needs to go and hunt down a specific individual and make sure she is terminated for good. So that's all I will basically say about that. Now, like, overall, here's my thoughts on it, and then I'm gonna dive right in and tell you guys all about the movie. I thought the movie was really good. I loved it. I wouldn't say I got emotional like I did with Furious 7. Like, I was at a celebration, a Star celebration earlier, and people are getting all emotional, and I get more emotional when I hear people come to Christ, or when I hear 20,000 people singing Christian songs. Hearing people's stories about Star Wars just doesn't bring me to tears. Like, no offense, Star Wars fans, but I get more emotional when I watch Furious 7 than when I hear a sob story from a diehard Star Wars fan. And I'm gonna get some hatred from that one, but that's just how I am. I am a Star Wars fan. I wouldn't be wearing the shirt for if I wasn't, but I'm just not a die-hard Star Wars fan. That's why I don't get emotional. I'm more of a Fast and the Furious fan than anything. When I watched Fast and the Furious or Furious 7 the first time, I cried. And at first I couldn't figure out why the whole theater was just packed full until I remembered, oh yeah, Paul Walker died. And for me, that was a really hard thing to deal with. Like, no offense, I was very, very depressed when Carrie Fisher died, but I think it hit me a little harder right here when Paul Walker died. That's just me. But yeah, back to where I was. So, yes, absolutely loved it. Um, Very funny, like the last one. Once again, very unrealistic. They're getting more unrealistic all the time because of stinking CGI. It was very, very different. I think I said that already, but I'm not kidding when I say it's different. And I like the fact that they brought back some of the older characters from the last movie, and of course you can't forget about the team. They've been there since like day one. Of course, we all, if you guys are like diehard Fast and the Furious fans like I am, you will know that Vin Diesel and Paul Walker were the main people in the first movie, and I think Dwayne the Rock Johnson just kind of showed up around there somewhere. I don't remember anything else other than that. I have to go back and watch it on Netflix or something. But that's just all my personal thoughts on the movie. So, alright, I'm assuming it's been about 5 minutes or so. I don't have a watch or anything. I could look at my phone really quickly. 9:39. Okay, I think it's been about 5 minutes. I didn't time it actually. I'm just good at talking for quite a bit of time, and I'm just like estimating, what time it is. Alright, so now I'm going to go actually get into the actual movie itself. So the movie begins with trying to think here, trying to think back. Oh yes, they are in Cuba. Of course, it has to start with another race, and the main point of the race is for Vin Diesel or Dominic Toretto to earn this guy's trust or respect, I should say. And later in the movie, it has a very, very important role, and you'll see why. But I'm not going to say why. I'm just going to say you will see why later in the movie, why he went to so much effort just to make sure he got it. I'm not even going to say how he did it, other than he raced this guy, and that's it. And then on top of that, he gave one of his buddies his Impala, so I thought that was really cool. And then of course, Mr. Nobody shows up again. He is one of the guys that came from. It was in the seventh movie, and now is in this movie. And he's assigning his team to go and get this machine that does whiteouts, blackouts, whatever, to large areas and even to large machinery. And at first they were like, "No, thank you," because they're all doing their own lives now, and he tricks them, or they're wrapped in their daily routine, their normal lives, but he tricks them into getting this machine for him anyway. And one specific individual that I'm not going to say causes things to go wrong and causes the team to fight against the one person that you will end up seeing in the next movie, the one that they're going to go and terminate for good. It's because of this specific person that things go wrong, and I'm not going to say who. This person teams up with somebody else that the team knows, and the two become one until the very end of the movie. And when finally things work out for the way this person wants it to, they finally are able to, or this person's finally able to back off and prove that this person is not interested in helping this evil person that you're going to get to catch later in the next movie. Dang, this is so hard without saying he or she. And if I did actually say he or she, it was just an accident. I'm trying super hard not to say it, because some of you have not seen the movie. It only just came out 2 days ago. Anyway, so that's pretty much the movie in a nutshell. It's really cool how they did the movie, because of the fact that as I said, I did not know what to expect with Paul Walker dead, and now they have a way to keep us going, and they didn't leave the movie ending on a, whatever you call it, cliffhanger, right? Other than that, I'm really glad that you guys were able to watch my YouTube video. If any of you stuck around till the very end, I honestly enjoyed filming this very much, and I look forward to getting this and my Star Celebration 2017 video on YouTube tomorrow night. I gotta work first. I'm not gonna call out of work or anything. I only went to Star Celebration one day. I can't believe how many people went for all 4 days, and they're like, "Who's gonna call out of work?" And of course, I'm just playing around. Yeah, I will. No, I'm just kidding. Of course not. I love my job too much. I wouldn't have been with the same company for 5 years if I didn't love my job. And of course, you guys can go and look at how much I love my job in one of my older videos. Until the next time, I'm just gonna finish up with talking to you guys about my morning. In a very, very quick summary, I got up at 4 in the morning, got ready, got over to Bok Tower Gardens. This is my 3rd year in a row volunteering at their Easter sunrise service. Sat for an hour playing with my phone, waiting for people to show up. Stood at the sidewalk for the next hour, greeting people, burning my phone battery up, just making sure people could see they're on their way. Of course, my dad's like, "Why did you have to use your phone battery to do that?" And to be honest, I was instructed to. There's nothing I could do about it. In the end, we did get our special breakfast, which I did help cook one year. I can't remember when it was, like 3 years ago, something like that. Back when I first started volunteering for Bach Tower, and yet still I'm not official volunteer yet because I haven't done over 50 hours. This was by far my favorite of the 3 years because nothing bad happened other than the fact that I'm just sitting there on a park bench thinking, why did I get up so early? And why am I just standing here greeting people, not able to hand out many brochures when these three people at the bottom of the hill are giving away all the brochures? If I had known they were going to do that garbage to me, I would have left more brochures down there and just stood up there at the top with like 20 or so instead of like 200, just throwing the number out there. Anyways, thank you guys again for watching my video. Thank you guys for being so supportive. I'm super sorry again for causing any problems at the Jesus has a brother named James video back on Inside Edition. Until next time, I will see you in the next video. And always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Have a great night.